Gideon was hiding in a hole in the ground, terrified, defeated, invisible. And God walked up to him and said, "Hello, mighty warrior. What God calls you will shock you. Stay with me." There is something about a name that sticks. Not the name your parents gave you at birth, but the names that came later, the ones spoken over you in moments of pain, the ones whispered behind your back, the ones you started to believe. Failure, too much, not enough, broken, forgotten, invisible. You did not choose those names, but somewhere along the way you started wearing them, you started answering to them, you started making decisions based on them. And the terrifying thing about a false name is this: you do not always know you are living under one. You just feel it in the way you shrink in a room full of people, in the way you talk yourself out of opportunity before you even try, in the way you look in the mirror and see everything they said instead of everything God made. Today, we are going to change that. Let us go back to Gideon. The Bible tells us in Judges chapter 6 that the Israelites were in a desperate season. Their enemies, the Midianites, had terrorized them for 7 years, burned their crops, stolen their livestock, crushed their spirit. The people of God were hiding in caves and dens and mountains, just trying to survive. And Gideon, he was hiding too, threshing wheat inside a winepress, a pit in the ground, so the enemy would not see him. This was not a man strutting through life with confidence. This was a man defined by fear, shaped by the voices around him, living small because the world had made him feel small. And then the angel of the Lord appeared, and here is what he said. Pay close attention to these words. The Lord is with you, mighty warrior.
Mighty warrior,
Not fearful Gideon,
not the man in the hole.
not the name the circumstances had given him.
Mighty warrior,
God did not call Gideon what he was,
God called Gideon what he was.
created to be. And that changes everything. Then there was Moses, a man with a stutter, a man with a past, a fugitive, actually, who had fled Egypt after killing a man in a moment of rage. He spent 40 years in the wilderness tending sheep. 40 years, not exactly the resume of someone about to change the world. And yet, God appeared to him in a burning bush and said, "I am sending you to Pharaoh. I am sending you to bring my people out of Egypt." Moses' response, "Who am I to do this? I am slow of speech. I am slow of tongue." Please, Lord, send someone else. He had believed the wrong voice for so long that when the right voice finally spoke, he argued with it. Does that sound familiar? How many times has an opportunity come your way, a door opened, a calling stirred inside you, and your first response was, "Not me. You have got the wrong person. I am not qualified. I am too broken. I have made too many mistakes." Moses said all of that, and God's answer was this: "I will be with you." Not,
You are right,
"You are qualified.
not, do not worry.
It will be easy."
Just, I will be with you.
God did not fix Moses' stutter before sending him. He sent him with it, and Moses stood before the most powerful man on earth and spoke. Here is the truth that Gideon and Moses both had to learn, and that you need to hear today. Your weakness is not your identity. Your past is not your identity. Your failures are not your identity. What they said about you at school, at home, in that relationship that broke you, none of that is your identity. God's word over you is. And here is what God's word says: you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are chosen. You are called. You are loved with an everlasting love. You have not been given a spirit of fear, but of power, and of love, and of a sound mind. That is who you are. Not the names that came out of pain, not the labels that came from people who were themselves broken, not the story that fear has been telling you in the quiet moments. The question is, which voice are you going to believe? Because here is the reality. There are two voices speaking over your life right now. One reminds you of every mistake you have ever made. It replays your failures on a loop. It tells you you are too late, too broken, too far gone. It sounds like reason. It sounds like honesty. It sounds sometimes like your own voice, but it is a lie. The other voice, it called a hiding man a warrior. It called a stutterer to stand before kings. It looked at fishermen and said, "Follow me, and I will make you change the world." It looked at a woman caught in shame and said, "I do not condemn you." It looked at a thief dying on a cross and said, "Today you will be with me in paradise."
That voice does not speak the way the world speaks. It does not call you what you have been. It calls you what you are becoming. And if you have spent years, maybe decades, living under a name that was never yours, today is the day you lay it down. Maybe you came across this video today and you do not know why. Maybe you have been carrying something heavy, a word someone spoke over you years ago that you never fully healed from, a version of yourself that someone else wrote and you have been performing ever since. I want you to know that is not an accident. Gideon did not go looking for God in that wine press. God came looking for him. Moses was not chasing a burning bush. The bush came to him. And God has a way of finding people exactly where they are hiding, in their fear, in their shame, in their smallness, and calling them something they cannot yet see in themselves. So hear this today. Wherever you are watching from, you are not what they called you. You are not the sum of your worst moments. You are not the label that fear gave you or that people placed on you in their own brokenness. You are called. You are chosen. And God's word over your life is not finished yet. If you needed this today, follow for more stories that remind you who you really are, and share this with someone who has been believing the wrong voice for too long. They need to hear it, just like you did.